All right, guys, the first lift we're going to be testing on is bench press. All right, so we have John Benares here, senior captain. He's going to show you a few things. A couple things technique-wise. Come on, you close enough here? All right,
yeah.
Go ahead. A couple things technique-wise. You want to get the bar up. Go ahead. Get set. All right, now before he brings it down, he wants to be hitting just below his pec line. All right, hitting this spot and then going up from there at a slight angle back. And back. Okay? Full range of motion. Alright, so I'm going to have him put it back for a second. In order for the reps to count, which you're going to send to us, alright, they got to be hitting your chest and then extending all the way. So I'm going to have him show you a few examples of reps that would not count. Alright, so the first one would be going down and stopping about 3 inches short of your chest and coming back up. Which actually makes it a little bit harder. Okay, those would not count. The second one that you want to be careful of, and it's not just for the testing purposes, but also safety, is excessively bouncing the bar off your chest. So this is a light enough weight that I'm not too concerned with John in terms of his ability to bounce it off, but go ahead, John. There you go. That's good. Right. Got to be careful with not bouncing the weight too much. All right, so that's the bench press. It's max reps. You're shooting to get as many reps as possible. I think last year the max was
25,
26.
Yeah.
Again, but this is really just to see where you're at. So do your best, but don't push yourself too hard. All right, the second lift we're testing on is back squat. Okay, so a few things. If you look at John's feet, okay, about shoulder width apart. He's got the bar on his back. Good stable position with his hands. All right. When he goes down, he's looking to hit parallel. All right, which we'll see in a second. So go ahead, John. All right, down to parallel and up. Freeze at the bottom again. So notice here, his knees, all right, about even with his toes, chest up and back up. Okay. One more. Notice his chest stays up, head up, parallel, and explode up. Okay. A couple things to be wary of. Especially as you get into heavier weight, and I'll have John maybe show it in a second here, is you got to be careful not to lean too far forward or to let your knees come too far forward. You want the weight to be primarily on the back of your feet and not on the front of your feet. So I'm going to have John do a rep where the weight is more on the front of his feet, where his knees are too far ahead of his toes and his chest falls too far in front. That's what you don't want to do. All right? Like that. Okay? You notice his legs started shaking, okay? That's because there was way too much weight on the front of his feet, and again, his back. He lost the strength in his lower back, causing his chest to cave down. All right, let's do one more correct just to see it. And up. Good. You bring the weight in. So for the testing component of this, it's going to be max reps. I think last year the highest was
30.
About 30. Okay, but we have a huge range. We have kids from anywhere from 5 all the way up to 30. The goal of the initial testing is just to see where you're at. So we want you to obviously push yourself to get your best number, but we don't need anybody, especially with the initial testing, pushing themselves too far to the point where they're getting hurt. So make sure you're just taking safety into keeping it in mind. All right? All right. Our third lift is push press. This is Brandon Mitchell, also going to be a senior next year. Okay? The key to this lift is it's a combination of using your legs and using your shoulders and arms. So Brandon, show us one. Sitting down, popping up, bringing his head through. Sitting down, popping up, bringing his head through, arms back. Now, stop for a second. Brandon he's sitting a little bit deeper. You don't have to sit that deep, especially as you get tired. You might be just doing this and then popping it up. So give us an example of not using your legs as much. And up. Okay? And really a lot of it's preference. A lot of it's preference in terms of how comfortable you get with sitting down deep, really using your legs to drive the weight up. Same thing with this, you'll be doing max reps. So I think last year we had anything between 5 to about 25 for this weight. Again, we'll have different weights depending on your age. Let's just see one more in terms of proper technique. Okay, bringing his head through. All right, so you're finishing right there, arms back. Thanks, Brandon. Lift for testing is going to be pull-up, straight up pull-up. So Josh Labonte here, gonna hang from the bar. All right. The key is to be hanging all the way. All right. From there, he's gonna go up, back down, arms fully extended, okay, and then back up. Okay. That's what it takes for a pull-up to count. If you were to send us a video with the following, just do kind of half arm. All right. If that's what we see, it's not gonna. All right. Our fifth exercise is going to be the box jump. If you can see here, it's about 2 feet high, more or less, okay? And you're going to be going for 30 seconds. So the point of this exercise, partly it's leg strength, but mostly it's for explosion and being able to hit the ground, pop back up. Think about those first few strides, all right? So building some explosion in your legs. So Christian Hansen here is going to be a senior next year. He's going to take us through just a few to start that are slow. All right. Good. Yep. And now a few in succession. Good. And stop. Nice. So when you're doing this and you send us the video, the key is that your heels have to get over this line. If your heels are here on the box, that rep doesn't count. Okay. So make sure your heels get over the line. Is an AMRAP. What that means is it's as many reps as possible. What this is meant to do, it's a strength builder, it builds stamina, it also really tests you mentally in terms of some mental toughness metrics and pushing through some fatigue, and once you do it, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's 7 minutes long, so basically in that 7 minutes you're trying to do as many circuits as you can, all right? So in that one circuit is this: 8 air squats, 6 push-ups, 2 pull-ups, and 3 toe to bar. John is going to show us what one circuit looks like now. Go ahead. Eight squats. Fully extend on the push-ups. Fully extend on the pull-ups. And toes all the way up to the bar, which works your core. Good. And then you would repeat that cycle as many times as possible over a 7-minute span. I'll be honest with you, especially the first time doing this, 2, 3, 4 minutes in, you're gonna get really tired. And usually there's one lift. For you, it might be pull-ups, it might be push-ups, where you start to break down. If, say, on a set of 6 push-ups, after your 3rd or 4th push-up, you just burn out, take 20, 30 seconds, whatever you need, gather up your strength, do your final 2 push-ups, and then move on. All right, but in order for it to count, you gotta be able to go through the whole cycle. So if you can't do 2 pull-ups yet, you gotta work towards being able to do those 2 pull-ups in order for a cycle to count. All right, but it's a great exercise. Again, it really challenges you on all levels. I think it's going to be a piece next year for us as a team that really pushes us in a positive way.